Someone asked on another video if I was still making videos about phones and tech and such, and yeah, I am. And this is kind of an explanation of why I haven't been terribly active on YouTube in the last couple of months. The first part is that got my car and got all the paperwork done, so I've been getting that out of my system. I've been going around doing all the things I couldn't do before without a car, going off to see friends that I couldn't otherwise see, such like that. And so that's kind of why I haven't been really paying much attention to YouTube lately. I also had a couple of videos to upload on my iPhone, but I kind of totally forgot that they were even there, and ended up wiping my phone before it. I didn't even take a backup because I got so tired of iOS 10 being a screw up that I stepped back to iOS 9 and totally forgot that I had videos there, and they were gone. But there wasn't really much we were doing. It was just a vlog with Ryan and I working on his dad's truck. That was about it. But in this case, here's one of the biggest reasons why I haven't been really active, and it's my custom build. As you can see, it is running Windows currently, and OS 10 is still here. I would actually show you, but it's currently running a disk check in the background because it won't leave me alone about it. But pretty much OS 10 is still here. It still boots, but unfortunately it's massively crippled right now, and we're going to get into why right now. If we come over here to the custom built, you can hear the fan is kind of noisy, unfortunately. Big yawn. Okay. The fan is quite loud because for some reason it's a 3-pin fan on the CPU and it only runs it at max speed all the time, even though the fan, very same fan in another spot, runs just fine at lower RPMs. So let's go ahead and just pull the side off here. I don't even think I have it screwed in. And you may be able to see kind of why I'm using Windows as my main right now. For those who haven't spotted it, we'll get to it later. But I did do a small upgrade here. I was just using some cheapo Cooler Master fans here. If you've seen that value pack, 4 for $14, the little thinger, that's actually what I was using here. But I got tired of it. The fans were kind of janky anyway. So I just tossed them out and got some better ones. These are Corsair SP120s, and I went SP versus AF because I do plan at some point maybe to get a better, to get like another all-in-one cooler, and for that these fans will fit on it and work fine because they're meant for pressure, as SP kind of says, and they're cooler than the fans that Corsair gives you, at least on the H100i series. So that's why those are there. And then tripping off some people's OCD is going to be the RAM modules, which I got some extra RAM from Ryan, who got it from Tyler, and it ended up with me because he didn't need 32 gigs in his custom build. So now I have 24 in here total, because the two blue Vengeance sticks are 8 gigs by themselves, and I could easily just go without them. But given that I play a lot of Grand Theft Auto, and given how RAM hungry Grand Theft Auto is, I've caught it using almost up to 10 gigs once on my system. I do like to have as much RAM as possible for gaming, because games these days are woefully unoptimized. Coming down a little bit, you can kind of see, and I will now go over why I can't run OS 10 reliably anymore, and that's the GPU. Now, if you recall, some time ago I did have an unfortunate incident where I spilt some Dr. Pepper, well, Diet Dr. Pepper thankfully, into my system. And it came in up here from the top, completely missed the CPU, thankfully, because that's the most expensive component in the system. Went down and hit the video card directly, which may have been a good thing, because it shielded the power supply from getting it shielded it from getting most of the water or liquid into it. Then it came down into the power supply, and the power supply was mounted reverse, so the fan grill was pointed upwards, so quite a bit got in, but I just gave it a bath with 98% alcohol, and we're good to go now. It all works, passed tests, everything. Ryan actually gave me his old TX650. I think it's a TX650. It's sitting over there under a table. I don't want to go get it out. But that thing was dead on arrival. It was actually having issues before, but now it's just stone dead. Doesn't work at all. So my only option at that point was to buy a new power supply, which good new ones were going for a bit out of budget. So I just decided to, and I'm trying not to yawn because I'm just waking up, and that's why I shouldn't shoot videos while I'm waking up. But this ended up being the best option for me because everything else, like I wanted to buy a good Seasonic, too much money. Anything else, well, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks, it's gonna fail early. And that's why I just decided to stick with this, because I know it works. It may be made by Channelwell, but I know it works pretty damn well for what it is. So I cleaned it out, gave it a nice cleaning, cleaned it again, let it sit outside in the sun to dry out, blew dry it, and it came back to life perfectly. And it's still running the system pretty well. I tested on a scrap board that I have, and it worked just fine. So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to say it's safe to put it back in my system. So that's what happened to that. Now the video card that was in there was a GTX 760. It took most of the hit, and it looked like it wasn't going to come back to life. So what I did was I gave it an alcohol bath. Thankfully it wasn't on when this happened because the system shorted out and basically shut itself off to protect itself. And it wasn't on terribly long, and it didn't get under any chips or anything. So what I ended up doing was I took it and gave it an alcohol bath, let it dry, put it back in, and it looked like there was an improvement, but it was Artifact City pretty much. So at that point I decided I have nothing left to lose, and I took it out and I blew dry it. I didn't aim for a reflow. I was just blow drying it to like heat it up, maybe help any residual liquid in there evaporate and such like that. And after that I put it back in there and it made a full recovery, and I had been using the GTX 760 up until about 2 weeks ago with no issues whatsoever. And that very card actually went to my friend Everblack, who needed a card because his 670 failed, and he's waiting to be able to afford a 1070, but he needs something in the interim. So I sent it off to him, and he's enjoying it now. But what replaced it is this Gigabyte card, which is a GTX 1060. And why I got a 1060? Well, I found one on Amazon and the price was right. It's a 6 gig version for about $250, because every other variant I was looking at ran about 300 plus, and that's just outside of my budget, and I had a little bit of cash to spend. So I ended up going with the 1060 because, one, I've needed an upgrade. Two, I don't know how long that 760 is going to actually last. I think it'll last a long time. But it was time for an upgrade because the 760 was starting to bottleneck my system every which way for the stuff I do, which was live streaming at the time, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do anymore because Comcast is now kind of coming down on people with data caps, and they're rolling them out here too. So yeah, just plus with GTA 5, it was getting horrible with the frame rates. It, like, turning your settings up even remotely, it was getting terrible for me. So this is a nice upgrade, and I can actually play everything on Ultra if I want to, and it runs smooth as butter. Also for games that are coming up that I may get on a sale at some point if they ever do, like Deus Ex not Human Revolution, Mankind Divided. It's another one I wanted to play. I know Fallout 4 is one of the ones that kind of struggled on the 760, so this is going to be another upgrade for that. It's just going to be all around good stuff, and I do apologize for the dogs. So that's pretty much the custom build as it stands right there. Damn dogs. But that's why also I haven't been making any videos because I've been having to learn Premiere because I don't have access to Final Cut Pro. And right here, as you can see, we got a laptop stand. The reason I'm able to justify this, because, you know, I don't know when NVIDIA is releasing 1060 drivers, is because I'm actually getting a new laptop. Not new, but I'm still using my 13-inch MacBook Pro, which is somewhere in here. I don't know where it is. But that's getting replaced with a mid-2012 non-Retina 15-inch. It's fully loaded, thanks to my friend DOSDude1, who we made a bit of a deal, and he's hooking me up with the one he currently uses. But I will let him kind of spill the beans on that on his channel because I don't want to take his I don't want to steal his thunder. But that's pretty much what's going on here. Rest assured, I will be putting this video out. Problem is, I just have to learn Premiere a little bit, how to work it, because I've never really used it. And we will get something out. This will probably be releasing before I get the MacBook. But yeah, anyway, that's the end of that, and I'll see you guys later.